All right, you guys ready? Okay. I've got Jacob here. Jacob's on his knees. Okay. We're going to work in this series. Let's go ahead and just turn me around. Okay. You guys are going to get in the front headlock. It's okay to start on your knees. Once you guys are here, I put my head on this side. My right hand's around his neck. Lock my hands palm to palm with the right palm down. No thumbs, right? Don't grip like this. Grip here. Drive his elbow across his face. I'm gonna crank until I get the arm across. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold it and shoot my arm deep. Lock up on that rear naked choke. And then go ahead and we're gonna roll. So I'm gonna lower my head and then roll over one time. Once I get to here, we give it a squeeze and we walk our feet, squeezing that anaconda, and we get the tap. Sometimes, I mean, it won't usually happen, but sometimes you'll be able to capture a leg. I don't want to break your neck, just let me happen. So if you guys can ever capture a leg, this will help you with leverage. So just to kind of keep that in mind, and then finish the anaconda. Perfect little warm up. Again, if I'm here, here's a little detail. If this arm is strong, you know, if he's on his elbow, you'll be able to do this a lot easier. But if he's up on his hand, you might go, he's too strong. One way to deal with that, take your elbow, go over, see my elbow? Elbow to elbow, pull his arm, and then now I slide and crank it. See how I did that? Look at this. Elbow, crank, then I slide it. Like, you don't want your arm up like this, huh? Because it's hurting the shoulder, like a shoulder lock. Okay? So if you do this, he'll want to pull his elbow in, and then now, you see how you allowed me to get this? Now I can force it through, drop my head, squeeze, walk, 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 and see. Again, this is an anaconda where my biceps are gonna choke his neck. So the biceps are choking the neck. If you adjust on your anaconda and you pull your arm out when you lock it, like this, watch the difference. Now, it's not really my biceps choking him. It's the forearm bone going to the side. There's actually a slightly different angle on the anaconda. This one works good too. Lock. It's a little sideways. You see how your head's sideways? And then I'll squeeze. Okay? The original anaconda, it's more of a arm triangle variation, where like any arm triangle, you're gonna have this position, where you have the biceps. You see, the one where I angled, it would be like if I did this on the arm triangle. You understand? Now it's the bone cutting his neck, as opposed to the biceps cutting his neck. Here. That one, this one feels tighter. It feels stronger. The other one hurts more because you get the bone. But in some ways, that's better too. So you got to find the one you like. Okay? Let's give it a shot. 1, 2, 3. Got your jewelry. We're doing the same move, but we're just gonna do a different move order, okay? So instead of locking the anaconda and then we roll, we're gonna roll, then we lock the anaconda. So if you guys aren't chess players, you gotta understand, this is just called a reverse move order in chess. Sometimes you move your knight out and then you move a bishop out. This time I'm moving my bishop out and then I move my knight out. In the end, it leads to the same position. You're just doing it in reverse order. There's nothing wrong with it. You can do it if you like, and maybe some of you might like this one more, okay? So all I'm gonna do this time, remember what I did before. I cranked, and then I shot this through and I locked the anaconda. Then I rolled. Now, we're gonna use this grip, the crank, to do the roll. In wrestling, in America, we call it a Russian roll. Some people call it a Gator roll, okay? Because you roll like a gator, okay? I'm gonna lower my head so I don't get speed bumped. Remember, some of you guys will put your head on the back, and then if I roll, my face gets smashed, and I'm like, and then he spreads his hands, and I'm like, oh, I can't roll him anymore. So you don't want your head getting crushed like that. That's what I call the speed bump. Okay, so once I go here, I drop my head. So he never lands on my head. I go underneath him, much like a judo throw. You go underneath him and then he falls over you. Like when you get tabletopped in school, you know what I'm saying? I don't know about you guys, but that shit never happened to me. Nobody did that shit to me. You guys have no sense of humor. All right, here we go. Come on. Okay, so I'm here, look at this. I lower my head and then I'm gonna hit my roll. See how my left leg's up? I'm gonna drop this through and drop him through. Now, once I'm here, immediately bring your hand up and then lock. Now, if you notice on this variation, I would consider this more of a forearm style anaconda, like because my right hand is not shot through like this, you know? It's more like here. So this is gonna be more of that forearm cutting bone into his neck, which is just fine. I don't really care. Okay, so I gotta show you two things though. So I gotta show you this move, the roll, and then the anaconda. And then we gotta talk about when you can't finish the anaconda. So once I get here, let's say the guy opens. If he opens his elbow and you see how it split my lock, I'm gonna go back to my hands locked. He also could have, like out of the lock and the roll, he could open his elbow right away because he's concerned. See that? Now I can't reach the anaconda. So what I'm gonna do immediately is do what I call the Hoffa-Mendes leg assist. I leg assist. I take this top leg and I swing it. Remember, I don't just go straight and try to cover his arm. It's too hard. I swing my leg this direction and I curl my body up like I'm doing a backward roll. And then it covers his arm and I bring his arm down. See that? Now sometimes just my knee catches it and sometimes my whole foot binds around his arm. Like if he opens his arm like that, see how he's opening it? Now watch how my leg hooks it this time. See, now his arm is caught, kind of like when you do a crucifix. Now you catch his arm and it's super tight. I can pinch it between my legs. He can't get it out. He's trying to open his elbow, but he can't. And now I can lock the anaconda and then get the squeeze. So this is a valuable way to deal with the guy who opens the elbow, which is hard to deal with. So one more time, let's go to the beginning. So I get the guy in the front headlock position. I make my lock properly, right? Make sure you don't have it flipped the wrong way. Right palm down, the one that's choking around the neck. My left arm, I'm trying to pry this so I get a little here. Remember, if he's strong, I swallow and then I get it. And now here it comes. Lower the head, hit the roll. Oh, he stopped me. You see that? He stopped me from getting it. So what do? As he's fighting right here, he may try to get on top of you. Like you see? Yeah, so when he's here, I bring my legs up, capture the arm, and I bring him back to the side. Now as he's trying to do anything, it's really tough. There's nowhere to go. If he tries to go towards his knees, don't allow him. Keep him right here. Don't allow him. Lock it up. Keep trying to get up. This is good. See how I'm squeezing and I walk? And I don't let him get up. You guys don't want to get here and then let him on his knees and then end up like this, because he's much more powerful now. You see how he drove forward and he popped my lock, and now I'm on the bottom. That's a no-no. Last time. Okay? Try to pry the arm. Swallow it if you have to. Get it here. Hit the roll. If he opens up, leg assist, lock it up. Squeeze and walk and drive his head with your stomach. See that? What that's doing to his neck? See that? I'm gonna bring my hip forward and I squeeze and get the choke. Let's go. 1, 2. So we did the front headlock. We did an anaconda. We did the reverse move order. We did roll, then lock anaconda. We locked anaconda, then we rolled, right? When I have a guy in this position, we also have this nice guillotine variation, okay? So I'm gonna crank his arm across just like I normally do, okay? Whether you gotta swallow with the elbow or you can do it just like this. We wanna get that arm off the mat and I wanna get it over there. So I've created a path right here. We want this path. If this arm is back here, there's no path. His arm is in the way. So I need to move it across. So the first thing I do is I crank it across. Once I've achieved it, okay, I'm now, remember, shoulder is in the back of the neck. Sometimes, the other night we had John was training live and his shoulder was up here. So he couldn't do the move I'm about to show because his shoulder was way up here. It's not placed properly. Shoulder is down here, head is down here. I was talking with Frank a little earlier. Don't leave this knee too close to your opponent. When we're training soft, like we are right now, we're not fighting each other. When he's here and you log, this knee is just too close. He could just grab it and then push me to my butt, and I'm like, oh shoot. And then like he'll jump sides and then jump sides. And now we're in trouble, right? So obviously I would want him in my guard if that happened, but I don't want to fall to the bottom. So when we crank the arm across, okay, I have shoulder in the right spot. What about my knee? If he reaches for my knee, look, see the knee is back. And it can come off the mat sometimes. Like it's gonna come off right now, watch this. I stand up and I drive him up, and then I push off my left and I throw my right knee inside. As I throw the right knee inside, the foot is here, you immediately wrap. Big, wide wrap, bite down, get a good bite with your foot. And now my arm is pushing through. So if you want to see with the camera, look at my hands. I still have the palm to palm. And this one, push it through. Wrap, squeeze. And the way I squeeze, I lean this way and I crunch and I squeeze my biceps. And I get the choke. When you get tired, you get in here with a tough guy, he's defending somehow, he's strong, and you're squeezing, and you feel like you can't choke him. Release the leg on top, keep this foot, and then we do that crescent kick sweep. I push off this foot, I raise my butt, and I kick with my right foot. Even if he pulls his hand and his leg, I'll put so much pressure that he'll be forced to take it out. Try to keep it as long as you can. I'm gonna push. Once he collapses, you're right back in position to go for the Anaconda, and then finish there. If you absolutely can't, because your arms are toast, make sure once you're right here, look at what I do. I load my toes to my butt, because the guy's opening or whatever. I bridge, get up, and I still have my front headlock. If he tries to get to his knees, don't allow him. Keep the pressure on him. Go to his back. You could also spin this way and go to his back, okay? And then this is a position where you can rest. So I'm just talking about the reality of the fight. You're gonna be tired if you've been squeezing. So remember I just said you had that modified guillotine with his arm across like an arm triangle. Your arms get tired, you sweep him, then you bridge, you get on top, then you spin to his back. You're not ready to go for his back and choke him probably. So remember, this is a more stable position. I could stay here for a while. As much as I want to take his back, I want to just stabilize. Right now, relax my arms. I'm holding on, but I don't let him stand up. But if he always breaking the guy down, looking for his wrists, if he opens the space, I will take his back. But even if you get here, like rest. It's okay to rest. The guy's defending or whatever, just pretend. And then, you rest for a while. After a minute, you've been on his back. Now you're like, all right, I have enough energy. It's time to go for the kill again. So to kind of put things in the right mindset, because I imagine that there's going to be a time, one of you, or probably all of you at one point, you're going to get a choke that you can't finish. The guy's just too strong, too tough. You're tired and you're not going to be able to finish, so you got to have the alternatives. I crank, I try to move his arm across. Now there's a gap. I stand up and I push. See that? I assume your opponent's going to stay there. If I were to push and he were to fall to his butt, like right here, then you guys need to pass the guard. You know, pass the guard. If he's gonna be that way, fine, be that way. But if he's tough and he wants to take you down when you're here, like he's reaching for double legs or single legs, I crank him across, he's stable. See, I'm standing. Now I just lift and throw it in, push it in, push my lock through. I crunch, squeeze. If it's too tight, or not too tight, but too loose, and you can't finish him, stomp the floor, crescent kick sweep. Try to lock the anaconda. If it's not, you still can't do it, bridge, get up. There's a darce, boom. Or you're sick of doing chokes. Your arms are tired, just get on top. Don't let the guard in. Here comes the guard. See the guard? Just pass that knee, get into side control. Okay? Does that kind of make sense? Okay, let's see real quick. Who wants to try it? Who's pretty confident? Let's take you, yeah. So who's your partner? Gator. Oh, there we go. Poor Jacob, man.
Yeah.
All right. So going through it, he's gonna crank the arm across. That clears the path. Get a little angle. Throw the right knee inside. Get the squeeze. If you can't, sweep. Anaconda. Boom. If you can't, he opens. Bridge, get on top. Darce. Nice. And you can't, just get on top. Spin to take his back or whatever. Or just get into side control. Oh, good. That's pretty good. All right, guys, ready to train? Let's go. 1, 2, 3.